guess this is the official start of the Telkwa Pass. I'm looking forward to it. In relation to wreck sites and trails and their map, there is parts of it that are only horse accessible. Guess we're going to see if that's true. So I encountered the first obstacle of the trail. Looks like there's been a pretty bad washout, and a lot of the trail has eroded. As you can see, there's a path a bit on the left-hand side through the bush that somebody has taken, so I'm going to give it a try with that, and if that fails, well then I'll turn around, but it looks to be doable. The morning is already starting out interestingly. First line I tried on the washout didn't go so well. So the truck is currently in a not entirely a bad spot, but not in the best position. So I found a nice big tree I'm going to try to winch myself off of. And going backwards, she's a little bit tippy, so I don't feel comfortable with that, so I'm going to try going forwards. With the help of the winch, and hopefully get through the obstacle without any issues. Not bad. Is pulling me a little bit too far to the left, but I don't have any other trees, so I'm just gonna have to follow it, get up above this rut, and then I should be free. Okay, well, definitely could have gone sideways very quickly. It doesn't look that bad ever on camera, but yeah, the angle is starting to get a bit tippy. So I'm going to continue carefully up the new path, which I can show you. So these are the ruts that were washed out, and there's the new path, and there's the truck. So I'll put all the winching gear away and hopefully continue uneventfully. Okay, second time in this very, very short amount of trail, I need to winch because my back tire slipped down over there, and my front tire is kind of up. This is a good time to check the undercarriage of the vehicle to find out if there's any leaks, damages, or anything else. Since I recently did that, I think I'm good. So, I don't need to winch. I think the truck is stable, but it's a safety precaution, and honestly this would have been a hell of a lot easier if there was two trucks here, because I would have had a spotter and I would have been able to actually put somebody on the front bumper to counterweight it, and then that would have been enough. But because this is a short wheelbase vehicle and fairly narrow, she is kind of unstable in some of this terrain, which does suck a bit. So I managed to make it from here, which was a little bit sketchy. I actually found it better to back down the trail, which sometimes you have to do to be able to go forward. It was a safer angle. So now I am sitting here like that. Well, I gotta say, there's been a couple of sketchy parts of the trail. I will definitely respect this trail. It wasn't too hard. It would be easier to do with a spotter, or if I had a longer wheelbase vehicle too. Because of how compact it is, it does end up being a bit tippy and unstable in those kind of scenarios. But I gotta say, this is worth it. I don't know, from what I heard, the washouts were actually past the lakes, not in front of the lakes. Maybe that was miscommunication, I'm hoping. Because if there's more washouts past it, and if they are worse, then that's going to be problematic, and I will have to turn around, and regrettably, as much as I hate to go through the stuff that I just went through. Sometimes that's easier downhill, sometimes it makes it even worse because gravity fights you the wrong way. In the meantime, I think I'm going to take 5 minutes to relax and enjoy the scenery. Significantly easier with a spotter. There was two people here, this would be way easier. I'm gonna try this once. If it looks sketchy or if it's not working out, it's too big of a risk for me to attempt to make it through here. Then regrettably I will have to admit failure and retreat. At least there's a nice lake that I can camp hat and it's not too cold, so the view will be stunning. Fingers crossed this works. I am a bit concerned about the rock pile over there. Doesn't really have a sturdy foundation. So the front end is almost half the weight of the back in my truck, which was bad planning, but something I will have to remedy. If the front doesn't have any issues, then the back might. This is one of those difficult flip a coin scenarios where I am not sure if I want to actually push it. Comfort level is not feeling very high, to be honest. Well, I hate to admit defeat. Thought about it, it's not worth the risk. So potentially if those rocks give way, the back end of the truck is going to slide right into there, very likely tipping and rolling. I don't have a single tree around here to winch off of, even if I don't end up rolling. I don't have a spotter to let me know that the rocks are giving way. I don't have a second set of eyes or anything to let me know what the truck is doing. And in situations like this, it's risky to kind of do the stop and go, and the longer you sit on an obstacle, the worse it can get sometimes, because the weight kind of compacts up until that one rock decides to let go and then the truck slides. This is where wisdom wins over ego, and I turn around and I'm going to be spending the night at the lake that's behind me, at least enjoying this beautiful scenery, regretting that I cannot complete this trail. I already spent the past probably couple of hours, as opposed to making food, taking every single possible photograph of this amazing valley. This is definitely one of the most beautiful places that I have ever gone to. Makes it all the more rewarding that the road up here was a bit of a challenge. I find it interesting how if I would have continued on, I would have never actually witnessed the sunset here. And during the day it was magnificent in and of itself, but not nearly as much as it was in the evening.
every day, nothing seemed to change. Everywhere I go, I keep saying the same old thing, and I can't take it no more. Oh, I would leave this town, but I